Do you like Adderall? Like, does
why?
Like
me?
I know you like it occasionally, Kyle. Dick, would you take it every
I don't think
day?
it's healthy, or I might take it every day. Or I would definitely occasionally take like big doses of it just to live in like that world of pure euphoria for a few hours.
I did not get that from Adderall when I took it.
I do.
I guess.
Oh yeah, because Kyle and I have ADHD. That's why Taylor doesn't. So you get all fucked up and cracked out. Yeah, it's amazing.
If I take 20 milligrams,
like a neurotic lunatic.
I haven't taken it in years. So if I were to take like 20 milligrams of instant release amphetamine salts, I would probably lay in my bed and stare at the ceiling and make plans. For all the cool things I'm going to do this week. You know what I mean? I'd be like, things are going to be different around here. You know, you get into that mode like that. You start fucking sketching. And like coming up with all you're gonna need tables to explain the changes you're about to make. I'm gonna get this hobby. I'm gonna start this hobby. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do it right now. Let me sign up. Like,
dude, it made me stressed out.
Stressed out.
Yeah, I was just.
Did it help at all?
And it was literally a friend of mine who got like. I probably did it a dozen times in college but I was never consistent. Like one of my friends would have like a 30 XR and then another friend would have like a 15 IR.
That's too much.
And so like I didn't know the difference. And so like he gave me this capsule full of like these little balls inside the capsule. And then I like took that, no idea what I'm getting into. And like, I didn't sleep for like a day and a half. Like I was like scrubbing the baseboards of the dog shit college apartment I was living in.
Adderall's not for you, Taylor.
No, it stressed me out. It was like I've never enjoyed cocaine. I've done cocaine enough to know if I was gonna be a fan of it, and I've never enjoyed it.
Nah, you got to do a little more then.
I tried Adderall.
You quit early.
I've followed that thread where they'd be like, Taylor, you just need to do a little more, and I'm like, okay, and then do a little more, and then it's
you're doing bad stuff.
I feel kind of good for like 10 minutes, and then it's totally gone.
I've done Adderall once. Did notice I was on it. I've had modafinil, a prescription, which is like Adderall, but it's easy to get if you have sleep apnea, which I do. So I didn't use modafinil, but I last too long in bed, which sounds like a boast, but it's not. You got to finish on time, or that becomes a bad thing, and that's why I stopped. That's why I don't want that anymore.
When I say Adderall, I mean amphetamine salts. That's what I was always prescribed. Mm-hmm. I think they're chemically somewhat different.
Is that what is that called? Is there a name for it, or is it just amphetamine salts?
Like the generic chemical is amphetamine salts. That's what. Yeah. And it's these little blue instant release pills. I gave Woody like a 5 or a 10 one time. That's what he's talking about that he didn't notice.
I wasn't going to call out my supplier.
It's statute of limitations. And we're about to go.
They're almost up, aren't they?
I mean, he stole them out of my bag.
This entire show is fiction. None of this is real. We're making all this.
It was mine.
I mean, I'll be stolen from. He's a fucking thief. He's the first
drug addict.
And worse more, he more, he stole 2 pills from me. He took one and forced the other one down Chiz's mouth while he was asleep. So then all of a sudden, all 3 of us are on Adderall.
I know a guy who does that.
And we start going down this river rafting. And I think part of why you didn't feel it is because we were like doing an adrenaline fueled kind of happy. Rafting is almost like taking Adderall.
You did Adderall and then went rafting?
Rafting, yeah.
Like took it and then got in the boat.
Why is that?
I had never tried it before, so I had a curiosity about it.
Okay, because you're curious. But Kyle knew the effects at the time. Like, why would you want to be tweaking doing rope?
Oh, to me, it's like endless energy and happiness and euphoria. Like I don't tweak. Yeah. Like I'm happy. I'm talking a mile a minute about like happy things.
Do you get that feeling when you've done cocaine?
I never really. It's possible I didn't do enough cocaine or enough good cocaine because I've done cocaine like 3 times and I always just got like a numb nose and throat, and that's like it. I didn't really feel anything.
Shit. You get that post nasal drip. Ugh.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
You spit that out, or is that like something?
No, it's like you snort it all up in your nose, and then it's like stuck in there. And so then for the next like half hour, that's what I remember.
Next 12 hours.
That's what I remember hating about cocaine is like you'd like number one, I'm already high strung enough. I like downers. And so like it was getting me to a level I wasn't happy with. And then it was like, even after it faded away, you had 20, 30 more minutes where every time you swallow, just like passive swallowing your own spit or like drinking a soda or something, just chemical taste all down the back of your throat. Terrible.
We were in a nightclub in New York, and my buddy like gets the cocktail waitress to lean down so we can whisper in her ear, which didn't make any sense because we have bottle service. I'm like, what more are we going to drink? And she like nods and walks away, and she came back with like cocaine and wax paper, like folded up. And I'm like, how did you know she had cocaine? Oh, they all got cocaine. They all have cocaine here. What a gangster. He's like, not a word of this.
The only good part about cocaine is that you feel pretty cool while you're doing it. Frankly,
I'm gonna be honest.
You feel cooler snorting coke than you do like hitting a joint. You're like, yeah, I'm fucking Wall Street money never sleeps. Except I'm in my friend's dog shit apartment on a college campus.
All right, so I've done it in equally different settings, I guess. I did it in that cool ass nightclub where it's like I took a bump off like he's like looking around and he's like, all right, here, hit it. And I'm like, this is fucking cool. This is fucking cool. We got this table where all these people are wanting to sit with us because we got all this booze and we're doing cocaine here that you somehow just ordered like it was a drink. And then I've also been in like a dingy little house with some dudes with a mirror covered with cocaine, and it was like, okay, I mean, yes, I mean,
whatever.
Everybody else is doing it.
Everyone else is doing it.
They're gonna think I'm gay if I don't do cocaine with them.
I mean, it just seemed like you don't want to be the only one who's not doing a little cocaine. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the guy who's not having a good time.
And I would almost feel peer pressured because I had a couple of friends who were coke was their drug of choice. And so they would do it and they'd act like they're on cloud nine. And I'd be like, am I doing this wrong? Like, why are these guys getting infinite enjoyment out of this? And I just feel like a little tinny and high strung for a bit. And then I get a bad taste and I'm like, I just want to have some beers and smoke weed.
Yeah. I think it's I think people experience drugs differently. I'm a bit of drugs differently.
Princess.
Like I've really never had a good time on mushrooms. They felt like disorienting in like a disabling kind of way. Whereas LSD felt like it was opening. It was like pulling the veil back and showing me the cool shit behind it. Whereas mushrooms were like rubbing mud in my face that made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, honestly, I think we have the same profile. How do you feel about ketamine? Because I also feel the same way about mushrooms, and I fucking hate ketamine, and it's like taken over the entire city.
So Woody did the prescribed ketamine, where and he's done some pretty heavy doses of it, along with like meditation and like getting the perfect setting with candles and dark rooms and stuff.
Yeah,
and it done like guided like meditation, I think maybe even through it or of some kind, to improve like various things in his life. I've never done it, but if I did it, frankly, I'd want to just like treat it the same way I treat marijuana or something like that. Like do a bunch and like watch Fantasia.
What was your ketamine experience, Dick? Why did you hate it?
Well, because you can't control anything, and your thoughts like either race too fast or go too slow, and you forget, like you lose track of time in a really annoying way. It's just like very frustrating, like exactly like you're describing mushrooms. But people love it, so it's everywhere now.
I liked it a lot. It was good for me. I don't know. The way I did it was expensive, right? I forget what it cost, but it was, I don't know, $200.
It was legal
each time, but it was legal. It was prescribed, and I didn't know what I was doing or what an appropriate dose was. So a pro guiding me through that was cool. And they weren't shy either. Like, don't get hung up in these numbers because I forget what it is, but it might have started with like 400 milligrams. And I was like, I felt it, but I almost could like pretend that I was sober if I had to. I was leaning into it like maybe a teenager getting drunk for the time. They're acting wildly drunk, but parents come around and now they're not acting drunk anymore because it's choice. I was like, I don't want it to be a choice. She's like, yeah. So they took me like 400 to 1,000 or something. Like they didn't fuck around, and it worked. I was like trying to prioritize what was important. I was a little sad at the time, and it was a good experience for me. So some of it was just afterwards I journal and like sort of write down my wonderful thoughts. Like, you know what? This is what fills Jackie's bucket. This is what Colin needs. This is what Hope needs. This is what I need. And I don't know. It was a real win. I even look back at those journals every so often and just like, figure out what I prioritize. All my ideas, I've said this on the show before, were not met with my normal sort of self-scrutiny, like, oh, I should do this, but these are the reasons I shouldn't. Mm-hmm. Every idea was a banger in my mind at that time. And, without me like shooting down my own ideas, like, I don't know. In this world, there are 1,000 people who will tell you that you aren't qualified, aren't good enough, aren't this, and you can't be one of them. But maybe all of us are one of those people who are like, should I even apply to this job? This job's not for me. I should get smarter, more educated or something. No, just fucking apply. Let them tell you that you can't have the job, not you. If you're your fucking own goalie, you'll never score. And with ketamine, you are not your own goalie. All your ideas are bangers. Everything you come up with is smart. And write it down so you don't lose it and then go over it later. It was good for me. Maybe not for you.
Every dick pic is a winner.
I would like to try it to see how it feels. Dick, have you taken DMT?
Oh yeah,
molecule.
You have? That's the Joe Rogan thing. Tell me.
I don't. So I was. It was a long. Oh wait, no. Maybe I'm thinking of DXM. A long time ago. I tried to do DMT recently, and I was pounding through it, trying to get those goddamn elves or something to happen.
Yeah.
And all I could get, I was hitting it out of a crack pipe, to get as much as possible, and all I could get to happen were these like weird sort of time skips where it felt like I was stuck in like a video game, and it was going like rah, 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 like little nightmares too, like rah, rah, rah. Yeah. But then it would go right away, and I kept trying to do it, I was smoking it like a chimney. I saw nothing. I didn't see any fucking elves. Damn. I was angry at Joe Rogan and angry at everybody who burned me. Somebody told me that you can't drink at all when you're doing it, and I was drinking
heavily
all day doing
Is
it.
that
Yeah,
crack
so
pipe thing the way that everybody does it.
You can also get vape pens that are loaded up with it, kind of like just like one of these disposables, like I'm hitting here or whatever. But it's
from where?
The black market. You can, like I said, you can get mushroom candy bars that look like Wonka bars that are all wrapped up and the dosages on the back and everything.
Those are awesome.
But dude, I ate 3/4 of one of those, whatever that dosage is, and it sent me to the darkest place I've ever been. I was sitting alone on my couch in the living room at 3 a.m. And I almost went and woke my girlfriend up and to like snuggle.
Your mushrooms turned you gay.
I needed love.
You were just so sad.
Yeah,
dude, I was an island in the middle of the sea. I felt like you ever
Which
see,
drug was this kind?
You ever see mushrooms? You ever see Waterworld where there's that poor old man down in the bottom of the oil tank and he's the one who keeps the measurement? I felt like him. It was like my world was. I felt like I was dying on the inside, not physically but mentally. And I'll never do mushrooms again. That was like 2 years ago, maybe. I'll never do them again.
I ate some, and I happened to have tickets to Tootsie. I got us tickets to go see Tootsie the musical.
Oh, that's good.
It was very gay and bad. And I did a bunch of.
I like to watch trans-based musicals.
Well, so I stupidly thought, I was like, oh man, Tootsie, that movie was hilarious.
He unplugged himself.
He's a little too animated.
There. I said, oh, this movie is hilarious, right? Dustin Hoffman's in drag. It's really funny. So I got us tickets for that, and did a bunch of mushrooms, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about the play. Whatever, that will make it better, right? So we get there, and I'm watching it, and the guy's doing the main guy's like this like fat guy who's doing the girl voice, but it's not like his. Dustin Hoffman's was like kind of believable as he had like a charm to him when he was playing drag, but this guy had more of like a serial killer, like Norman Bates' mom thing. He's like, talking like this, and I'm like, all right, I'm freaking out. And then And then his love interest comes in, and it's the fattest black woman I've ever seen. It's definitely the fattest black woman I've ever seen on stage, but maybe the fattest black woman I've ever seen. She comes out, and she's the love interest of Tootsie, right? So you know, like who was it in the movie? It was like Meryl Streep or somebody from the movie.
Yeah, someone deserving of love, not a fat person.
And this is like the hippo from Madagascar coming, and he's like, oh, well, hey, what's happening? I'm like, the whole time I'm tripping out. I'm like, who the fuck is it? This is a romantic comedy between these two, like this weird fuck and this big fat black woman that like, and then I was like, honestly, this guy needs to be like way skinnier to be into her. So then, as if this isn't bad enough, in the middle, they start bringing attention to that. It's also like trans, like this is now a transphobic plot, and I'm sitting there going like, oh no, this is like my worst nightmare. Now they're bringing trans shit into a movie that's pretty much making fun of trans shit. Mm-hmm. So I'm like pawing at my girlfriend, like, how much long? Can you check the songs, please, and see how much longer this is? Because I can't sit through any. I gotta go. Like I'm freaking out. I'm dumping sweat. I'm like, my eyes are looking around. I'm looking at all these like gay guys, like these like older gay guys sitting there, like staring like pod people, like up, like in. I don't know, marveling at this relationship they've created with this weird fat white guy and this behemoth, this tractor of a woman that they're like pretending to be in love. Like they're giving these speeches to each other about their undying devotion. And I'm sitting there like trying not to laugh in church. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, what are you talking about? You love this fucking lady. Like, what?
It's about a guy who's professionally unsuccessful and decides to cosplay as a girl because they have it on easy mode. Does that sound right?
Yeah. It's like the Dylan Mulvaney story.
He's a cross-dresser for profit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Musicals are so
as
gay.
we know, you can start out that way,
like
then all of a sudden you're sissy hypnode and you're a girl.
Yeah.
It happened before.
So it was a bad time.
Man, so when you were doing DMT and you were wasted, like if you hadn't have been drunk, would it have worked? Like, is that
I don't know. I don't want to think
thing?
about it because I got kicked out of one smoke shop because I didn't know you can't ask for a meth pipe, and the other one they gave me they gave me all these dirty looks.
I learned that in college. I went to my college campus head shop where they sell bongs and all that shit.
Yep.
And this was like 2009, and so like every single pillar in the building had a piece of paper taped to it that said, if you ask for a bong, we have to kick you out. You must ask for a water pipe.
Yeah, I know, but I thought that was just a myth, you know? Like,
no, they would kick you
I
out.
knew that, but I was like, I think I can just do it at this point.
You right there.
What was the meth pipe for? DMT?
Yeah, for DMT.
It's called an oil pipe, right?
It's that glass one with like the ball on the end.
I think it's called an oil pipe. It's the same one people smoke.
Zach, pull up a meth pipe.
I think I asked for a freebase pipe, and he's like, bro, get out of here. You can't ask for that. I'm like, bro, salt, any kind of salt could be freebase, you fucking dick. But
damn.
Any kind of salt, you said?
Yeah, any kind of alkaline.
Maybe if you told him DMT, he probably would have been less irked. I remember I was trying to get syringes, and I know I was trying to get.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's so sketch to see.
That is the sketchiest thing on earth. Like, do you ever go into like, when you go into a drugstore and you see like all the little innocent weed pipes with like their
Rick and Morty,
and then like on the other side of that glass container, that display case are just the scary drugs. And like I'm in there buying drugs.
When you
and
say
still,
drugstore, you're not talking about CVS.
Dispensary. Like a dispensary or a head shop.
I'm
like, I don't remember any of these things.
No, well,
drugstore.
Unlike you, actually, no, Dick has it too. Unlike you two, we live in the land of the free. We can just go buy. Actually, is North Carolina? You can't buy weed there, right?
You can't. No.
What we have here is essentially legal weed. Honestly, like Georgia just made THCA illegal, but all the other kinds are fine. THCP is fucking stronger.
THCA is strong as shit. So
THCP is stronger. The place that I buy it from will only sell it in 0.5 gram vapes though, like a 0.5 gram at a time, and it's expensive, but it's so goddamn strong. So it's essentially legal weed. I mean, it really is. I go to a weed store and buy weed.
You guys will get there. I'm still blown away every time. Like, it's been 2 years almost, and I'll still go to a dispensary here in Missouri and be like, how on earth did we slip this past the goalie in Missouri? Like that, nothing. Abortion passed here in this most recent amendment, like 50.0002 to 49.9998. Like it was, it was like, like 800 people. Like
when you say abortion passed, so you're a pro-life state?
No,
Pro-choice
it's
state.
yeah, we were like no abortion pretty much at all outside of like emergencies, obviously, like if the person's in a health problem, you'd take care of it. But now it's like up to, I think, 12 weeks, maybe. Like you can get an abortion in Missouri. And I think we also just passed the gambling thing. You can gamble here now on the apps, which I don't know, like with in regard to stuff like this, I try to be like lean more libertarian, but then I see like the way Stake and a lot of these companies, Stake is the company that like has those bright games that Dirty plays and gets sucked into. And like, it's undeniable that they engage in overt marketing towards kids. Like they do. They like
credit
put their
card
little
owning
they put
individuals.
What?
Credit card owning individuals. That's all we care about. Okay. Look, kids play games too, Taylor. I don't know if you're aware, but kids love games. What's the problem?
Yeah,
they do.
Taylor.
But it can really, you shouldn't play those.
That's how they got
really
they got me into women as a kid.
I feel for you, Taylor. Like you're like, I lean libertarian, but this might be one of my exceptions, and I'm trying to wrestle with that. Like,
yeah, I'm like because I see people like who get way too into online gambling, and it's like there's something about it being on your phone the same way it is like when you spend a lot of money on a credit card that it doesn't seem real the way it would seem real if you went to a casino and you took cash and you said, give me chips for this amount of cash. There's like a realistic understanding of transfer of value there from cash to chips.
You can do it in
whereas like if you're on an app and it's like buy 100 more gems to find the secret to the forest, and they're like, okay. It's like, this is just gambling.
You can do it in secret too. Like you could hide it from your wife. Like you couldn't sneak away to the casino, but you can.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good point. I hadn't considered that.
You know, you can go to the bathroom and like throw away your nest egg.
Dude, can you imagine taking like a rough shit and you leave like $3,000 down from
that's the roughest shit ever.
Oh, that'd be horrible. It's like I'm just gonna end it all
for those gamblers. Yeah, I mean, our boy in the Discord, like that sounds about right? Like